Right, should be live now. Making sure everything's all good on YouTube. Looks to be up and running. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop a quick link to my Instagram and then we'll get started. See if anyone wants to check out my story and see the stream that way. Give them a link to do so. What's the best way to get a link? Call on my phone, maybe. I think we're good on YouTube, looks like it, but can't view the stream on my phone for some reason. Let's try on an actual browser instead of the app. See if that changes anything. Oh, there we go. Or no, yes, okay. So it looks like everything's good. Just gotta share this link and then we'll be good to go. Feels like the lighting might be a little dull, but I think there's not a ton I can do about that. Let's see. Is that a little better? I think that's okay. You guys let me know if the lighting looks okay on your end, if everything is nice and illuminated. But yeah, I've tried to make my setup a little bit less scuffed and laid out a few different bins of parts that I might need. That's something I didn't do last stream, and when I did start bringing things out, I had half of my parts on one side of my desk and half on the other, and I feel like that was really slowing me down, so I tried to give myself a little bit of space and plan ahead on this occasion. So hopefully that helps. Right. And now, go ahead and drop a link on Discord as well. And should be good to go. I don't think I resized my thumbnail correctly, so there might be some black bars, so a bit of an oops. But I think I can change that once the stream's over, but it's just gonna look a little bit awkward. Not exactly ideal. But you know, it is what it is. All right, we're gonna get started now. It's about 5 minutes dedicated to getting things up and running. I'm gonna also one more link and then get my music and then we'll be good for real this time. Okay. Alright, for real this time. Make sure the volume's all good. I'm not sure stream is capturing my mini player. Oh, there it goes. It's just very quiet. And I gotta turn it down on my end as well. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna get started now. I know I've said that like 3 times now, but being a streamer, you gotta promote your stuff, you gotta send your links, and you gotta make sure everything is set up for the people and optimized. So a bit of a different start time tonight. I think last time, yesterday or a few days ago, we were live like an hour later, and I still haven't figured out like a clear schedule yet. So that might be changing from time to time again, but this is what the build looks like currently. Yeah, I don't have a great way to display my chat either. Pop out, there we go. And then let's just close this. Perfect, okay. So I got both my chats, Twitch and YouTube open. But I'm not gonna be able to see how many people are here, so if you are stopping by, let me know in the chat. It's the best way to interact with me, obviously, but just wanted to let you know. But today's plan, we're gonna try to basically flesh out the rest of this terrain. I did this left side off camera just because the first stream we did on YouTube would be the second stream on Twitch on Monday. I spent a lot more time than I would have liked. And I think it's really just this technique that is a little bit tedious. It's a new technique to me. I'm sure there's people who are better and it doesn't take them nearly as long as it took me. But the point is, I just didn't think it would be great content. Doing the exact same thing one stream before and then the next stream after, right? So we're gonna try to finish this sort of pathway that we have started, and then hopefully lay the groundwork for the structure that we're gonna have in the back. So that's the plan for tonight. I'm not sure how much is going to get done, but we have a plan and that's what matters. So we'll see where that takes us. And yeah, let's get started. So I'm gonna move these figures just back here. But this is kind of a sneak peek of what we're gonna be going for. I think I'm gonna have 2 of these arches. Not sure how I feel about these colors underneath, but we're gonna have some kind of like watchtower structure in the back, or like a castle gate kind of thing. But before I do that, I think it's best to finish off the terrain that it's going to be sat on, because I already have a good idea of how much space it's going to take up. So I want at least 5 studs of depth, which is that's kind of the minimum I want depth-wise. I'm not sure how wide it's going to be, but yeah, all that matters is that I have a level height from 5 studs onwards. So we're going to try to finish this terrain off. So we're going to take the figure off for now, put him with the rest. And yeah, I think I kind of just want to top this off before I start working on like the area that the area where the path is, I should say. And we'll go from there, see how that works. Move the camera back a little bit. So, yeah, I'm gonna turn the mock around for a sec, because you can see there's a ton of really like funky techniques going on. I think I counted 7 brackets just in like the front section here of this like cross section that we have going on, and that's just in this like the side that you can actually see. So there's even more going on in the back here, and so it's not the strongest area of the mock, but I think it's enough to build up off of it. But we will see. We'll see. I might have to take some things apart and reinforce stuff, but for now, when I left it yesterday, this was satisfactory. So we'll see. This is always a work in progress, so things could change. We could have to pivot, but anyways. So we are at a half plate difference here. So that makes things a little bit tricky. But I think the best way to approach that is still going to be just using our tan brackets. I'm not sure there's anything else I can do, but it's really just a question of how high I want to bring this up, right? Because we're already getting pretty high up here, and this path needs to get to that height eventually. So I kind of have to be a bit conservative with how much height I add to the mock. But we're just going to start putting some bricks down and see what happens. But yeah, this gap is going to be a little bit tricky. So I think we're probably going to have to come up by at least a few studs by the looks of it. And just putting a bracket down like this is probably the easiest way to do that. Sorry, I realize that's not the best angle for where we're working, but hopefully that's a little bit better. Just going to do one more check on the YouTube front. Make sure all is good, because I have my chat open, but I can't see the actual feed, so I'm going to look now. It looks good. All right. Yeah, I wish there were some neck brackets in tan. That would be super useful. I don't know if they actually come in that color or not. But yeah, for now, this is probably just going to be the easiest way to solve that difference. And this is just one tile that I need to add there to make that the same level. So let's add maybe just a plate here. And then you could do like a curved tile maybe. And then like a cheese slope on it. Grab those. Excuse the shadow. I'm not sure how I'm going to connect this, but we'll see. We'll figure it out. Because, yeah, I think I like the way that's headed. Grab a few of these L plates. That should be useful. How do I want to do that though? Like this? Yeah. Okay. So I want another stud here, at least. Right. Yeah, that looks okay. I don't like having so many cheese slopes here, but there's only so much I can do to solve these subtle elevation changes. And I am really happy with how this looks, so I'm not gonna think too hard about that. having like a bunch of the same piece um, in like you know decent proximity, close proximity rather. And can maybe get some more plant life here. Go with like a medium nougat swamp brick. So let's see if I have any left. No. Doesn't look like it. Do I have any elsewhere? I feel like I had a lot more than what I'm seeing in front of me, but we'll pass on the plant life for now. Maybe just add like a bracket there, because this is going to be another problem to be solved eventually. But this is a decent looking angle for now to start with. Is there a good connection point? I mean, I'd like to connect the two of these together. So we can go with another L plate. Make this straight. Do I want that many studs there? Yeah, I don't think it's a huge problem. I can go with some more curved tiles, maybe, or one at least there. I don't really like having curved tiles right in front of cheese slopes because the cheese slope is a half plate lower. But, so yeah, you can see this isn't the strongest connection, so we might have a few adjustments that I have to make. But I'm going to try to just move forward and see what we see. I don't think I have any of the L plates in tan, or the L tiles, rather. But yeah, that would have been my first choice here instead of the plates, but it should be fine. We're gonna go with some support pieces, because I need to connect this, but I don't think I can just yet. I think I need to extend this a little bit. Like this. So, yeah, maybe curved tile. See what that's like. If I even have that many. I've used a lot already. Because I love using these in my terrain. They're very useful. With sort of slowly adding elevation to your mocks. And I think that's going to be a nice look. And what do I want to do there? I'll give you guys a better look. See what I see. But I do need to reinforce this. This is a pretty bad connection. Just wanted to see what that looks like. And just an L plate again. Doesn't need to be tan though this time. And then we'll grab like a 2x2 underneath that. And that should give us some decent. Or maybe I should just use tan just in case. I doubt I'm gonna be seeing anything at that level, but you know, might as well. So you connect it like that, and then grab. We even got one of these big bricks in tan. Is this? Yes. Okay. I don't need to do some half plate shenanigans. Is this the level that I'm looking for? Let's see. Oh, it looks like one more brick. Keep realizing the camera is a lot closer than I thought. I'm gonna back it up a little bit. And that should help things. Okay, I think I need one of those newer jumpers. That should help things. Right? Is that... Yes, okay. And I need one more plate, so I'm going to go ahead and take this assembly off and lose a plant piece in the process. Come on, there we go. I think that's how we had it, right? Maybe not. Confusion. Let's see that again from this angle. So we had this guy right here, which means it's going to connect under there. Should just be like this, right? Okay, so I just need to add one more plate underneath that. And then this will be all taken care of. Alright, put this there. Connect this here. Right. Or do I need to go up by a plate? I need to go up by a plate, it looks like. Right? Maybe not. Nope. Okay. So, not like the best connection, but it's okay. I think we're getting somewhere. Oh yeah, so that gap is just where the plant piece was. Right here. Something like that. And I think I'm actually going to raise the tripod a little bit. So excuse the change in view for a moment. I know you're looking at my ceiling, but bear with me for a moment, folks. And we're tilted. But this is all for the best. That should be a bit better. Just need to untilt. And reconnect this part. Maybe that's a bad idea. This tripod's not very good, but I'm going to try to raise it again and then just tilt the camera down. It's like really fighting me. It doesn't want to go up. I'm not sure if that's an improvement, so we're just going to keep it as is. But yeah, my tripod kind of stinks. So that's about as good as it's going to get. I tried. And I think this is fine. I was just... You guys can't really see this top section very well. I mean, it's basically at the same level as the camera. Okay. So yeah, the question is, do I just want to throw another cheese slip in there? Because I can go with a 1x2. And I think the answer is yes. We're not still tilted, are we? No, I think we're fine. But yeah, I don't have any more soft bricks and medium nougat, I don't think. I don't know where they all are. Maybe they're in the mock behind me and I was just investing them thinking I wouldn't need them. But I've been using them to get these plant pieces in place. And now that I don't have any, it kind of sucks. I have any left. Please connect. Maybe I just go 2 plates in a bracket. I should be back in grid. Or do I just add 1 more plate here? Oh, that wasn't fully connected either. But yeah, I like where this is heading. I'm not even sure it's like worth taking that 1 cheese slope off just to get the 1x2 in, because it's all nice and tucked in now, but I can just take this out pretty easily. And then maybe do some tweezers. There we go. Oh, whoops. Please. Thank you. But yeah, this isn't actually connected, unfortunately. But that's all I need here. I don't need to have a perfect connection for that. And can I even connect these? Ooh, okay, this is a slightly... Oh, because the headlight brick? Or will it go? I think it will. Yep. Maybe. It should go. Right? Or is there like a weird gap that I have here? I would like it to connect. I really would. Is that a thing if I have a headlight brick there? I feel like it should connect, but I don't know. Maybe not. Because, okay, let's just put 1 here. Oops. Need the tweezers again. Actually, I don't. I'll just grab another one. That one's lost to the void. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Hey, Justin. How you doing tonight, man? Thank you. We're making some steady progress. Realizing that I have this half plate gap here. So, but yeah, hoping to make some more progress as I'm losing cheese slopes into the void. But yeah, I thought I was in grid here, but I guess I'm not. Or I am, but I just can't have a 1x2 cheese slope connection. It's got to be like that. So there's this like weird gap, which I kind of like, to be honest. I don't, maybe I don't like it, but I accept it. But eat some dinner and watch you build. Hey, sounds good, man. I just had some ramen myself. We were snowed in. Thank you. Yes, I'm really happy with how this section turned out. I spent a lot of time trying to make it look nice and natural. And then I have this guy, which just goes right here. And that's how it looks. Oh, missing a plant piece. But yeah, what's on the menu for dinner for you, man? What are you thinking? Hey, Oshi. Oshi. Not sure how you prefer to have it pronounced. Thanks for stopping by, man. Good to see you. Probably new favorite build of mine. Wow. Means a lot, man. Thank you. Some spicy nuggets? Hey, man. I can't knock that. Man wants his comfort food. I know what you mean. I know those ones. But I got some spicy or not ramen. It's not spicy, but just some ramen from this local spot. Um, I can't remember what it's called. I think let me Google it. Because the last time I had ramen, I tried shoyu ramen, and this time I tried, I think it's tonkatsu. Yeah, tonkatsu. Um, and that was really good. It's like this rich, creamy pork broth with some pork shoulder, and it was like just what I wanted on a snowy day where I was stuck inside all day. Really, I think put me in the right zone to be building tonight. But yeah, thank you both for stopping by, spending part of your night with me. I really appreciate it. We're gonna get back to it, but I have this. I was saying with the build, I have this like weird half plate gap here, which I'm not really sure what to do about between these two chisos. I'm not sure if you can even see that. There it is. It's like not super noticeable on camera, but I think it's just how it's gonna be for this section of the build. And I'm not going to think too hard about it. I really want to get this terrain finished so I can start working on the main structure. And yeah, I wanted to sort of reflect on the previous stream. If I'm not sure if either, I know Justin was there. I'm not sure if you had seen Ashi or anyone else who's here for that matter. But I was spending a lot of time on this one section of the terrain, and there was one point in time in the stream where I was just kind of becoming a questionable advice dispensary, talking about how, spending a ton of time on like one really small part of the mock and missing the forest for the trees is probably not what you want to be doing. And I've kind of come to realize that that's kind of how I like to build. I don't really like rushing things. I like to really take my time. And I feel like I was kind of just trying to emulate other people who are able to build really fast. And I am able to, like through Vignette Week, I sort of proved to myself that I could make some decent stuff in like 24 hours or within a day, whatever. But I prefer to really take my time and think things through. So I'm going to kind of shut up this stream. I'll interact with you guys in chat and talk. That's not really the point I'm trying to make. I'm more saying I'm going to stop trying to share advice that I don't really emulate on my channel or how I like to build. So yeah, just thought I'd chalk that out there for any of you who were around on Monday when I streamed. But yeah, I kind of stand by that statement though, that it isn't maybe the best practice to spend as much time as I did on this terrain. But in the end, I'm happy with how it turned out. Fully with you there. Speed building has never been my strength, which is why I don't participate in things like Iron Forge despite people suggesting it. Quality mocks over quantity for sure. I've been really enjoying some of the latest stuff from Iron Forge, but it's definitely intimidating. I think for me, I was really interested in contests like that. Specifically Vignette Week is what I participated in last. Because I'm still fairly new to the scene, and I'm still kind of finding my style and how I like to build. So that sort of conclusion or reflection that I was just talking about is sort of newly found. And I think just having that experience for me, having to build other themes in a short amount of time, sort of helped me refine that and come to that answer, I think. So, but yeah, I definitely agree with that sentiment for sure. Have you actually done any sort of competitions or contests like that, Ashi, or is that would that also be completely new to you? Like, I know you're saying you don't participate, but actually have you before? I'm assuming that implies that you haven't, but thought I'd ask anyways. But oh yeah, I wanted to say appreciate the kind words over on Discord. I made a small change to the slope here, and I think I cleaned up that angle a lot compared to where it was a few hours ago. So I just did that before I started the stream, and I think it looks a lot better. I really like this sort of curve into the curve tile there. Even though it's not the like most round shape, I was going for like a rock, but I really wanted one to be poking out of the sand a little bit instead of having them all submerged. You built for Summer Joust this year, although that was more so since I had a build plan which loosely fit one of the categories. Yeah, that was kind of my experience with the same category, ironically, where no one dares go. I had this idea in mind, and then I saw the category, and I was like, "Bet, yeah, might as well." What's the phrase I'm looking for? Throw my hat in the. I don't know what the phrase I'm looking for is. Throw my hat in the ring, something like that. Yeah. Um, Other than that, you haven't gone for any contests. I see. Okay. Yeah, like I said, for me, it was a great experience as someone who's a newer builder. I think it's been about just over 2 years I've been building, and I sort of realized that this mock is very similar to the Mission 1.3 mock that I did for um, the 253rd, which was about 2 years ago. Um, like, not just the border is obviously the easiest comparison to make, but just sort of having a pathway that leads to a facade of like an actual structure. And just like the way the elevation is shaping up, there's so many different parallels that I'm already seeing. And once I get that structure, I think it'll be even more so the case. So it's just kind of funny, just something I noticed. But yeah, Justin, building speedily is an insane take. Your time, dude, no rush. I enjoy the process of how you and other builds. It's really cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, I really appreciate that. But with that being said, I am hoping to get the terrain finished by the end of this weekend. So I might end up streaming tomorrow and Saturday as well. It just depends on how much I get done. But I really want to get started on this actual structure I have planned. So that's the goal tonight. In the next few days, just sort of flesh out the rest of the terrain and yeah, go from there. But let me try to adjust the angle slightly. But yeah, as I was saying, it's just kind of funny that this mock is so similar in to my 1.3 mock. I feel like once I get that structure in, you'll really be able to see what I'm talking about. How I have like a path leading up to this like facade. So it's yeah, just something interesting I picked up on. If you guys are familiar with that mock of mine, but I think I'm gonna have to go with another bracket here. Let me get the note. A lot of brackets being invested into this mock. Lots and lots of brackets. That's something I've come to realize about this like cross-section style. Brackets are definitely your friend. Just not sure how best to connect this one. Or do I even need one here? Or is it one more plate first? Let's see. I'm not sure I actually need one, but let's just take this off. Yes, that looks right. Yeah, not the best connection here, but should be back in grid now. Yes, perfect. So yeah, this is kind of the height that I want to go for. I don't think we're going to build any higher than that. But I think I'm just going to connect this to whatever I have here and then go from there. So we're going to turn the mock around again. But if you guys do have, I'll show you the figures, just to have something else interesting to look at. I was going to say, if you have any suggestions, feel free to drop them, but I suppose it's not much to suggest with just the terrain going on. But once I get to the structure, if I get to the structure tonight, maybe then I can entertain some feedback. But yeah, I mean, maybe looking at the internal structure here is interesting as well. But you can kind of see I have, this connection is not so great, but you know, it is what it is. I'm going to move on, just try to get this connected. And I think one of those is going to be the move here. let's go one plate lower. Oh. Nope, that is indeed too low. Not sure why I thought that would be a good idea. So maybe that's not the best way to do this. But I do like the idea of... I like having the regular cheese slope next to the like regular 1x2 slope. But this one's the cutout, obviously. I just don't think it's going to work here. Because, oh, that looks okay. I can just add like a plate or tile onto that. Terrain-wise, it looks like you know what you're doing, although I'll happily share my thoughts on the building once you start it. Yes, that would be super helpful. Any sort of architecture is not really my comfort zone. I think I've had a decent amount of experience. But yeah, terrain is definitely more my area for sure. That's kind of been my main focus since I started building, just doing a lot of different landscaping. But I was gonna do something sort of like the, like I said on Discord, the Watchtower, whatever you want to call the build that you had scrapped a while ago for the Kadim mock that you made. That was sort of the initial inspiration, and I have a ton of like sun faded white parts, and I'd like to incorporate those because I think it would add a nice bit of weathering. So yeah, once I get there, would be happy to hear what you guys have to say. But I do want to say I'm really happy with how this palm tree turned out. This isn't like the most flattering angle for it, and the lighting isn't really helping my case either. But if you look at the thumbnail or the whips I've sent on Discord, I think it's a pretty unique take. I tried to get some fern pieces in there as well, and I think the sand green is a really nice bit of really nice addition. Adds a bit of depth to it, and I think one of these guys would look okay there. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, this section is super fragile though. So once I start sort of fleshing this section out and am able to build on top of it, that won't be as much of a problem, but right now it's a little sketchy. Every time I try to add something, it's kind of like, oh shit. Nervous. I need to straighten this plate. I hate having to straighten pieces, but I don't think that's that much of a problem there. But yeah, you guys in chat, are you guys building alongside me? Anybody got their own projects ongoing? I know Justin was working on tinkering with his 253rd. I think it's 8.1 or one of the Mission 8 builds. But yeah, feel free to let me know if you're building along. We would love to hear about what you guys are working on, if so. But yeah, working alongside these jumpers is really annoying me. So I'm going to try my best to get back into grid here. Let's see what I can do. So this is going to be like that. And then... can I swap that out for one of the bigger jumpers maybe? And then just connect onto that. Oh, my biggest fan is in chat. That is my sister, y'all. Say hello. Thanks for stopping by, Nicole. Hope your night is, hope you're having a good night. Yeah. We're, just doing a little building. Just chilling. You have a work in progress on the go, which funnily enough is also tan terrain. Aside from that, I'm mostly sorting and tidy up builds before Bricktastic. Oh, that's another convention. I'm not sure where that one is, but I have heard of it. And yeah, maybe you can draw some inspiration from what I'm cooking. I know the cross section technique here with the rocks is pretty tedious, and if you're bringing that Manchester, okay, gotcha. I'm not sure if something like this is the best to sort of bring to a convention. I'm assuming you're bringing that mock with you, but either way, I look forward to seeing it, whether that's on social media or highlights from the con. And yeah, sorting is a never-ending process. I've kind of just sort of took care of a backlog that I've had. And yeah, so I don't really have to worry too much about it right now. Yeah, I need to connect this. So let's see. Let's extend this. Where does that put me? But yeah, I'm going to be attending Brickworld Chicago this year, so that's going to be my first convention. And I'm hoping it's a good experience. I don't really know what to expect, to be honest. But I'm hoping to bring the mock that's in the background. Let's see if I can give you guys a better look. Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to get a good shot, but it's this Hollow Knight mock that I'm working on. It's pretty ambitious as like a first mock to bring to a convention. Like this is 64 by 32, and then I'm also gonna have an entire section on top of that. So it's gonna be pretty big, and I'm gonna have to sort of think critically, or what am I trying to say? I'm gonna try to make it modular, so I can have a better time or an easier time transporting it. Right? I think that's the best way to do things. But my tripod is kind of failing me right now. Let me see what I can do. Oh. There we go. I'm not crooked still, am I? Let's see. I think that's all right. But yeah, so I've had that project ongoing for a few months now, and I'll show you a few of the arches that I was referring to that will be, or for the upper section that I was referring to on top, which I'm pretty proud of. Which are collecting dust because I was waiting for a big parts order and it just came in. So I'm hoping to wrap this mock up by the end of the week or sometime next week, so I can get back to that. Not that I'm rushing this build now, but I do want to make some progress. So it's a neat little arch design that I came up with, which I think looks pretty good. There's some nice like brickwork details that I have in there, and I'm a really big fan of this color palette for the plant life, the olive green, dark tan, and sand green. And it's my first sort of instance of tinkering with the color palette, so I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. But actually implementing it and getting it set up on top is going to be pretty difficult. And then, so that's going to be for the second story, but this is the equivalent arch for the layer that I had shown before. See if I can get a better shot at that. Which is this cool technique using the like hat pieces in these 2x2 round plates, which is definitely illegal, but I think it looks pretty good. But the core theme of that mock is parallels, so I'm trying to sort of contrast each layer with similar but different colors, and keep things looking interesting. So it's going to be primarily sand green and the olive on top with sand blue and some old gray on the bottom. But yeah, just a little sneak peek. But We're gonna get back to it here. Clean stuff. Thank you, my man. I appreciate that. I've been really getting into the sort of medieval and castle building lately. When it's not really my comfort zone or my... I've done a lot of like Star Wars stuff, and it's nice to sort of break away from that and do some sort of boots on the ground type of builds. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Get away from the sci-fi, cyberpunk kind of thing. Sort of reconnect with nature, I guess, is the best way I would verbalize that feeling. But I know that's kind of your forte, Ashi. So, I've been sort of looking at your portfolio of mocks to draw some inspiration. So I appreciate you hanging out. Where are we? Okay, I'm at this weird... See, this is the thing. I'm like building out of grid constantly in this section, and it's really annoying, like trying to connect things. But yeah, like that's not... See, like that's not a jumper. That's like really weird. You'd like to do more fantasy stuff, but you keep finding yourself going back to cyberpunk. Yeah, honestly, it's hard to get away from. Like anything sort of sci-fi and like Star Wars specifically, it's for me it's hard to get away from, at least. But yeah, this is a really weird... I'm not sure how to do this. So it looks like a bracket, and something is going to be needed here to solve this. Maybe headlight brick on a bracket, perhaps? Where does that put me? But yeah, with Brick's-Caliber going on, I've been seeing so many great fantasy builds and like medieval stuff. So there's a ton of good inspiration for that stuff. So I've been really enjoying that. As someone who doesn't have a ton of experience in that area, it's been really helpful. I wanted to shout out Isaiah, Jim Baggins. His recent mock is fantastic, and I'm not sure if he's in the chat, but I was really impressed. Along with Fabrix and Simultarius. So tons of great stuff coming out for that contest. So I've been really enjoying that, just seeing the mocks that people have been making and drawing inspiration. Oh, he is here. Yeah. Good to see you, Isaiah. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. How you doing? I'll do one quick sort of turnaround of the mock, show you where we're at. And we're just finishing this section of the terrain. Hoping to get started on a structure soon, but packing up to head back to university tomorrow. Oh, I just started this week. So I guess you're saying goodbye to the bricks. Man, that's unfortunate. But looks like you left on quite a positive note as far as Lego is concerned. So yeah, I was just saying I was really impressed with the Brick's-Caliber entry, the collab you guys did, you and Tyler. That was really great. Really impressed. It's funny, I was thinking of how innovative the metallic silver and all those colors blended with the gray was. And I remember on Monday we were talking about how sort of innovation for its own purpose is a little bit overrated, and that my opinion was that just focusing on a mock is well made, and um, yeah, instead of just trying to do like groundbreaking techniques all the time, is sort of enough. And then now I'm seeing your mock, and I'm like, wow, this is like so innovative. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I feel like it means a lot coming from me saying that when I was saying or arguing the complete opposite of what makes a mock particularly good in my mind. But yeah, it was a bit of a tangent, but Mark will be happy to hear that. I helped out at his throne room scene for the collab category. He's hoping to win the Dragon Slayer award, so he's been busy. Yes. So I'm assuming that means you have to enter a certain amount of categories. I'm assuming, because yeah, they had a similar sort of award in the Summer Joust where it's like, um, you have to. I'm assuming that's probably like the average score amongst your entries. Maybe you have to enter a certain amount to qualify for that. But yeah, I saw he had like 3 different entries that were all fantastic. But yeah, good editing on your part, man, for sure. Good stuff. I like to do some editing from time to time. I have my mom is a graphic designer, so I've got a pretty good head on my shoulders. Give me good advice on how to do things on that front. To have the best chance at winning, you have to enter every category. Wow. That is quite the challenge. Mark builds and collab have been absolutely insanely good. Yeah. The I'm not sure what the category was, but the like larger beasts, the like stags he had, those were crazy. I was saying this the other day, last stream, that in my mind, like a builder who like really stands out, like in my mind, someone who can, has that range, doing character design, landscaping, sci-fi. Like if you can do all those different themes, I think that to me is indicative of someone who, really knows what they're doing. So I'm breaking into medieval and fantasy, trying to sort of dip my feet in the water, see if I can, diversify a little bit. And but yeah, I was really impressed with the character design that he came up with, and the immersive scene was even better. So this is kind of awkward. Got a half plate gap here. Hopefully not collab though. I just noticed that. Yeah, I think you've got your competition. You got your work cut out for you. You and Tyler, Isaiah. But I wish you guys the best of luck. But yeah, let's see if we can get this to connect finally. Turn this around. See, this is so scuffed. Oh my goodness. I need to get back into grid ASAP. Okay. I think I just need 2 plates here. And that should be good. Let's grab one of the 1 by 2/3. And that should do the trick. Flatten this out. Please connect. Okay. So probably not the most optimal assembly to connect this by any stretch. We've got our headlight brick, or our snot brick, into the bracket, headlight brick, into another bracket, just to get it to connect. But I'm probably going to try to move that assembly closer to the cross section here, just so it's not in the way later. Thank you. Yeah, I spent a lot of time on these two. I keep calling it cross section because I don't know how else to refer to this style of terrain. But yeah, this side I really wanted to have a rock that's protruding out of the sand. And I think I'm pretty happy with this. Actually, one thing I would like some feedback on. What do we think of this dark red guy? Does it have a place in this mock? What do we think? Oh, let me center that. And put the figure down as well. Oh. I kind of like it, but maybe not in that spot particularly. I like this dark brown plant in the back because my thinking is like it's covered in shade because of the palm tree, whereas the other plants here are kind of dried out from the sun. So I'm not sure if the dark red really makes sense, but I have a few of them in my collection, so I was considering it. But for now, I think I'm just going to stick with the dark orange. But maybe we'll come back to that later. Who knows? Yeah, I feel like there has to be a better way to make this connection, but it is what it is. I should probably just change that to a 1x2 bracket, so I'm going to do that now. So that will be a lot stronger. I wouldn't add dark red in personally. Lime is a tricky shade to work with. Introducing other colors which aren't part of compatible palettes can stick out. Yes, I think I agree. I think the darker tones that I have for the plants are kind of what I want to stick, or the earth tones. The browns are doing their job. I think the dark brown is about as sort of out there as I can go as far as adding different colors, other than, you know, your classic the oranges that I have, the dark orange rather. You do like the dark red, but it definitely depends on the color palette of whatever building or thing you have for the rest of the build. So the plan is to have a white sort of watchtower or gate, something kind of like this, but not sure if I'm going to incorporate the nougat and orange that I have there. But it's definitely going to be white. And I do have this like potted plant as well design that I stole from Ashi. And I think having a dark red plant might sort of clash with that. But I was actually thinking of changing that the olive green plant there and making it into like some vines going up the side of the building, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. That's outside the scope of tonight's stream. I don't think I'm going to get that far tonight. I'd like to just finish or put a good dent in crime. No, put a dent in the rest of the terrain that I've got. So we'll see. We'll see where we get to. Okay, so in that case, the dark red. Yeah, I think I agree. So yeah, hopefully this connection isn't too difficult to work with later, or where I have it. Yeah, we have some questionable connections, but I think we're okay. There we go. Oh, that's a little bit off, isn't it? Yeah, this is this too far forward? No, man, I don't know. Seems like it's a half plate forward. getting late. You're gonna head out. Okay, man. Sounds good. I appreciate you stopping by. And yeah, I know there's some other folks who have been thinking about it in the 253rd for at least. Yeah, man. I'd love to see you drop by sometime in the future for sure. I'll have to drop another link or let the or drop a message in the Discord sometime. But yeah, hopefully sometime earlier, maybe this weekend or tomorrow, try to get a stream going. Because I would like to make some progress on this build. I've had a lot of fun. So yeah, probably an earlier stream over the next few days. So anyways, man, thanks for stopping by, and hope you have a good rest of your night. Let's see what I can do here. Improve this connection a little bit. Okay, so I actually don't want this to connect to that. I see. That was the problem. We are having the happiest of building sessions. So was I wrong? Is this actually a half plate high now? It appears to be. Yes, okay. I'm not sure how that happened, but I know what to do now. That's what matters. Let's see. Am I correct in that assessment? I believe we are, but we won't know until we put this back in. Maybe not. No, I think I do need that half plate. This is really strange. I think it's just my sort of internal structure here is a little bit wonky, so I'm having difficulty connecting things. Because that should be more like that. Yes, okay. Yeah, it's just, I think that's just how it's gonna be, like that. And I can't really do anything about that gap there, but not too big of a deal. Okay. Alright. Yeah, tons of really weird half-plate gaps being out of grid, so I'm really just trying to finish off this section and move on, because man, this is really tough. I feel like I'm just creating more and more problems to be solved later. And kind of pretending they don't exist, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I think we're okay. It's just not my best work here, as far as the internal structure is concerned. This is quite the fiesta. Clown fiesta, some would say. But I think we're gonna simplify things a little bit. Throw up some plates. So let me grab my larger plates. bin 10. So is this the same height? Yes, okay. So that works out well. But I have this issue of this headlight brick not being at the same level. Or is it? No, it's half plate gap lower. Is that going to cause... It is going to cause a problem, so I have to go up by a plate first, and then I can start adding in the big plates. And I think I just want a 2x3 instead, so we'll do that. I'm not sure how I'm going to connect it yet, but we'll figure it out later. Actually, in that case, I should grab an L plate, and then connect it to this other side. And then I can probably connect it back to the base. And we'll have a grand old time. Alright, Isaiah. Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate that. Hope you have a good rest of your night, man. Sorry, I was like lost in thought, and then I just saw that. Hi, Carson. I'm doing good. How are you doing, my man? I hope you've been able to make some progress on that cottage of yours. We are working on some terrain. Struggling, as usual. But, you know. We make do. I know you already saw sort of what the mock looks like now, but I'll give you another little shot. We're adding some terrain here up top. Hopefully laying the groundwork for a structure. You do a nice big white sort of watchtower kind of thing. But yeah, we're dealing with some tricky out of grid building, trying to connect everything, and I'm not having a fun time, but hopefully be able to make some progress. This is very tricky. Very tricky. But, yeah, I've got a pretty clear vision for where this mock is headed. It's just getting there has been quite the challenge, I gotta say. I'm really not having fun building out of grid all the time on this side of the terrain. That's been the whole story. Just one jumper plate, one bracket after the next, and it never ends. Oh yeah, that's not actually connected, right? Just like that. Come on. There we go. Yeah, that looks about right. Now, am I not able to just go with an L plate on this guy? Or no? Does that not work? No, that will not work. Right, okay. So, yeah, building out a grid is so much fun. Ask me how I'm doing. Okay, so now I have this half plate gap, which is kind of annoying, but I think we can figure that out. So I don't think I need to do anything too crazy on this side of the terrain. Everything's kind of already sorted. As far as detail is concerned, I just need to flatten things out. This is going to be the level that I want to be at, it looks like. And then the castle, yep, okay. So, just need to flatten things out a bit. And we'll be good. But, man, the amount of brackets I invested doing this cross-section technique is really starting to rear its ugly head. Because of how many different half-plate gaps that I've had to sort out and out-of-grid building. So, I guess I signed up for that as soon as I decided to do this technique. But it is part of that struggle has just been trying to get this huge rock in this like small area and this one. It was pretty difficult to make that work. So I'm kind of paying the price for that now. But I think we should be okay. Just need to add one of these bigger brackets on top of one of these, depending on which one I want to go for. Do I want it to be the other version of this bracket? Perhaps. Actually, I guess it just depends which one of these is at the same level as this guy. That will influence my choice. And it looks like this one's going to be easier to work with. So I'm hoping... let's see. What's an easy way to figure out? If I go with the 1x2 brick, that's on its side. So I'm dealing with snow though, so it's kind of hard to see if I'm at the same level or not, but I guess I just have to guess. So this is half a plate up because of that bracket. And this is also the same situation. So I think this one's going to need to come up half a plate higher. Right? I think that's true. Any truers in chat? We've got this going up by half a plate. So this one must need to go up half a plate as well at some point if I want this to be consistent. That's what my gut's telling me. So, we'll go ahead and get a snot brick. And we will see what we see. Looks like the other one is easier to work with in this case. So we want to tile this and then bring that up a level. So let's just get ourselves a nice 1x2 tile. Oh, that's an ingot in brown. So where does that put us? Out of grid again? Hopefully not. I'm sick of building out of grid, man. Get me out of the grid. Get me back into the grid. But we actually are still in grid here. I'm just complaining to complain now. Oh, I need to go down by a plate, it looks like. Let's change up the music. Yeah, that's okay. So, with this bracket... Oh no, because I'm a half plate. Okay, I see. So I'm going to need another bracket to connect my bracket, which is fun. Why wouldn't I need another bracket? You get a small one of these. And man, I have so many of these snot bricks that are double-sided, and not that many that are just the one side, because they're all in my other build over there in the back. Or at least I don't have many that are in colors that I don't mind or won't like need, like you know, grays and those kinds of colors. But actually, it's funny to say that because the one that I need to swap out now is dual-sided for no reason. So, Exhibit A. Alright. Like this. What happened here? We're not high enough? Oh yeah, 2 plates it looks like are needed, right? What am I doing here? Oh, that's what I did. Okay. It was not 2 plates. There we go. And now, I just need to connect this. Grab one of those big bricks. 1 by, what is this? 1 by 2 by 4? I think is what you would refer to that as. That's too high. Or 1 by 2 by 6. I don't even know. But that is the height that I'm looking for. Right? Let's see. Okay. I can work with that. Yeah, if I have to go 1 stud higher above that, that's fine. But I do need to level this out eventually, so this was necessary. And I did the same thing over here with this section here by the rock. I mean, it worked out pretty well. But yeah, this is like a generational mock in terms of my bracket usage. Have never used this many brackets in a mock, like ever. Literally ever. Some kind of personal record of mine. And I do want to get a tile in there. I'm not sure what the best way to do that would be. This is probably the easiest way to fill in that gap. Excuse me. But yeah, a ton of really awkward angles that I've had to sort out here. But once I get this section filled up, man, is it going to be smooth sailing. So, that is the motivation. I had to dip for a bit, but he's back. How were the spicy nuggets? Satisfied? Good to see you returning, my friend. We have made... I'm not sure actually if we've made any real progress since you had left, but we're sorting out some... They were delicious, man. I could go for some spicy nuggets right about now. But yeah, there's a ton of funky connections and out-of-grid building that happened here. So I've had to really sit and try to figure this out, do some problem solving, think critically. But I think we've sort of figured things out. I just need to get a nice tile there, and yeah, I think we might be okay. But it's been a little tricky trying to solve this, because I'm still going to be at a half plate gap below these two. So I'm not sure how I want to approach this, because I could bring this side a half plate up, then this tile would be flush. Oh. But I don't know, man. I feel like I just need to kind of test this out, this bracket technique, or this bracket placement that I have going, and see where that takes me before I try to overthink this. Yeah, I did the same yesterday. Yeah, I saw the rocks that you added. Those were looking good. And yeah, honestly, in that regard, as far as building and constructing this technique, looks great. Don't get me wrong. Looks great. But man, putting it together, it is not fun in the slightest. But it looks really good. Like, I'm really happy with how this section turned out, in particular. It's not like a super round rock or anything, but I just really like this sort of curve into the curved tile. Like, my brain really likes that. It's, yeah. But, yeah, go ahead and stick our plant back in there, even though it's going to fall out any second. So, decisions. It's like, do I even stick with this, or do I put that bracket here? Because I've got this, yeah, this is so tricky, because the goal is to make this completely flat, and I've got this section here, half a plate lower than this, which I believe is level with this, because there's a bracket here, therefore they're both up by a bracket. At least I think. So I'm going to actually just, I mean, I know that's a snot brick there, but what if I just, where is that? See, if I put this down, I think that will be level. Let's see. No, so we're half plate higher, which means I maybe should, but I am level with this. Okay. So, okay. Sorry, couldn't really see the mock, but this is level now, but this is a half plate lower, and I need at least 5 studs of depth at the same level. So, how do I want to approach this? Right, this, we're out of grid, I know, so that's another problem, but it might just be best to tile this off and then start building on top of it. So, yeah, the real problem is just filling in this gap, getting this at the same level. I need, yeah. So, there's a lot of like consequential, or consecutive thinking, I should say. Trying to process how each decision affects the build. And I'm not loving it, to be honest. Because, yeah, this still needs to go up by a half plate. You know, it looks like, okay, so that's, man. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. But yeah, that one gap is really, really causing problems here. Doesn't seem to be much of an issue here, though. Solved that rather easily. Oh. What was that? Oh, my tile. I see. Okay. So, the easiest way to do this would be what? To get back into grid. So, ideally, yeah, I just like stick a plate over this eventually and kind of just disregard what's beneath it. and start building over it. But in order to do that, I still have to fill in this gap eventually. So that's where I should put my focus, into getting this level while filling this gap out. So, from the looks of it, I need to go up by at least a plate here. I think. So what does that look like? There. And then... Okay. So... Is this level? Okay. So, alright, that looks to be level. I mean, this isn't connected right now, but it does look to be level, I think. Or is this half a plate lower? Looks to be. It's really hard to tell. But yeah, there's definitely a bit of a gap here. Gappage. But, no, yep, okay, it is level. So, sticking a plate over this whole assembly would solve like all of my problems. But making a smooth sort of transition to that point is going to be key. Because this is a bit too low. So I might want to go with that approach with the bracket right here. Right? Because if I do that, then I can add like a plate here or something, and it'll be level with this if I add a tile onto that. Okay, so let's try that. Add a 2x3 tile to this instead of a 1x3. Oh. Yeah, I just need to remove this whole assembly for a second. But yeah, man, I debated just not even doing this terrain on stream because I knew it was going to be such a headache, as evidence of yesterday's stream and currently what I'm doing. But I really wanted to just get most of this mock done on stream. I already did this entire section off stream, which would have taken me a lot of time on stream, to say the least. Putting it together looks great, but it's super tedious. Yes, 100%. And I kind of wish I never saw this technique because of that. It's like, yeah, I miss who I was before I knew what this was. It looks great, though. I can't complain. It's a curse with knowledge or whatever the saying is. Okay, so the intention here, let's see, make sure this doesn't like fall apart, is work at this level. Yep. Def your best work yet, bro. Thank you. Yeah, I was saying before, it reminds me a lot of my mission 1.3 for the Legion. That might not make a ton of sense, but like the having like a path that's going to wind around and then a front facade with, you know, some kind of elevation here In that mock, it was a bench and a clone trooper flying over it. In this case, it's a palm tree. And I do have a little bit of a cross-section rock going on in this corner, which I did in that mock too. There's just a ton of parallels. That'll be a lot more apparent once I get to the next stage of this build. But yeah, I don't know. It's just something I noticed. And that mock was like 2 years ago to this day. So I'm thinking of doing like a comparison video once it's over to sort of dissect both mocks and sort of talk about the differences, you know, how like my style or like just mock building has changed for me over that time. And I think these two mocks, they're the exact same size, same footprint, so the scale would be really easy to work with and compare. So I don't know, let me know what you think about that, or you guys. That would be cool. Yeah, man, I've it just sort of occurred to me today how similar these mocks are, and I think it would be a good exercise. Oh. Yeah, just kind of seeing how I've progressed as a builder. I don't think it's been too, like, that wasn't my first ever mock or anything, but I feel like that was my best mock at the time, and it really, I feel like it was yeah, one of my better mocks, I guess. But let me try to focus here. See how I can get this to connect. How do I want to do this? Do I want to just go bracket? Oh. Because, like, I know that looks like it's okay. The issue is, like, I could just leave it kind of like that even. I mean, as a builder and the techniques and what you've learned in between the time you worked on that one to now, yeah. And the thing is, I don't think that mock, like, 2 years ago, I still think it holds up. You know, I think that was a pretty good mock, and I'm really proud of it even still. I don't think it was like the most original ever. I was drawing a little bit of inspiration from some of the previous entries that other Legion members have made and a couple other builds. But yeah, I think they both have, there's a lot to unpack in each mock. I say that even though I haven't finished this one, but yeah, just the parallels and stuff like that that I can draw. So yeah, I appreciate the feedback, guys, really. Maybe I'll have to start thinking about like a script or what specifically I'd like to talk about, but obviously that won't be easy to judge until I get this finished, right? So, but I just wanted to throw that out there. So we kind of have a decent, that section now is kind of flat and it looks okay, but I'm not sure. If that's enough. So I feel like I was kind of creating a problem where there wasn't one, and maybe I still am, but maybe all I need is like a nice tile there. Let's see. 1x2 tile. 1x2 tile. Where are you? Oh, here. Maybe just a 1x1. Or I could go. Yeah, give me a 1x1. Sure, all the way up here. So nice sort of flat ground, which would make sense where the castle is resting on. And if I wanted to, I could just straight up put a plate on top of this, and that would help me get back into grid eventually. I kind of like that sort of like layered change in the elevation. Like, forget about this plate. I think that looks okay. feel like maybe that should be a 1x2 instead. Let's try that. Oh, it doesn't want to come off. There we go. But yeah, I don't think this is quite level, but it can be. It needs to go up half a plate, I'm like certain, but it might work like this, because see, now I have it in this sort of awkward spot down here. Whereas if I just boop, push it down, yeah, there's like a slight gap. But if I was to just start building off of it, I don't think it would be a big deal. No, that seems fine. The issue is I need at least 5 studs. So it's going to go over that. But I don't need to start the castle all the way on this edge. Castle. I mean, watchtower, gate, whatever it is I want to do. I can just go from here. And that would be okay. But I was saying maybe a 1x2 tile would be better. Let's see. What do we think? No, I think the 1x1 is the move. Okay. So this is all pretty sloppy, but the point is, should be able to get back into grid. Yeah, okay, so all I'll need is just one bracket here on this guy, which puts me out of grid. Or is that in grid? It doesn't have to be necessarily. It can be like right here. Right? Yeah. That would be in grid. Just trying to understand things before I start putting bricks down. So I'm just laying things on top of each other, not really connecting anything, but I'm going to soon. But yeah, this is not working out too well. I need to tinker a little bit. Complex problems require complex solutions. And that is the situation. It would be easy to just leave it like that, and I think that's not that bad, but let's see if I can get this connected though. Get this tile out of here. And best way to do that would be like an L plate here. Whatever you want to call it. And then do the same thing I did here, bracket on a headlight brick. Show you guys actually what I'm doing. And that should put me where I need to be. Yeah, I'm just doing the same thing that I did before, right? So like that. Or is that even in grid? It's hard to say. No. It's not in grid. Yeah, so one plate more. believe. See where that gets us. Back into grid, as I thought. Very good. I need to go up by a brick, it looks like. Or 2 plates, maybe. Oh no, I don't think I needed that plate actually. Jokes. I'm still at a half plate gap. Okay, how did I solve this here? I did. So this needed to come. Interesting. So that. It's the best way to do this. Wow, it ain't easy. Can I just grab like a jumper? Is that a thing? Jumper save the day? Not like that. Oh, it does. Looks like. Let's see. Yes. I'm just up by a plate. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. Either way, glad I figured that out. Two plates and a brick on a jumper. Like this. And that's a nice connection. Very nice. Okay. So that might just be as good as it gets for that rock. Which is pretty good. Yeah, there's like maybe a little gap that I could improve, but not bad. Yeah, not bad. I think that looks good. And it's weird. I'm like not level here still. Yeah, this is like weird gap. It's not like half a plate. It's like something that I just can't improve. But it looks like we're gonna go up by half plate anyways here. And hopefully hopefully put ourselves back in grid, because I really need to at some point. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this tile connected now. Shouldn't be too bad. Just need like a bracket and a brick. Nope, 2 plates it looks like maybe. Not quite a whole brick. But yeah, I'm not sure what my uptime has been. I want to make sure I know when my battery's about to die. Can I do a command on Twitch to do that? Let's see. Exclamation point uptime. Well, okay, about 10 minutes. I'll have to swap. So, funny story. I tried to order a new battery for my camera, and I saw this used very good condition one pop up, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to spend $80 or $100 even for the Canon brand new ones. Let's go with that. And turns out I ordered the wrong kind. I needed an LP17 and I got an LP12, which, if you don't know what that is, it's not a huge thing. It's just a type of battery. And now I have to return it. So I'm going to use my other webcam when this dies, but hopefully next time I stream I do have another battery. I'm going to probably pick one up just out of like a local shop or something. But I don't know if any of you guys have any experience with buying like aftermarket batteries, or do you go for like the official ones? I feel like if you buy a really expensive camera, it doesn't really make sense to cheap out on like the off-brand aftermarket batteries, but I'm sure some of them are decent. You know, it's hard to say really, because I just don't have that experience to know. But my instinct says I should just get the name brand Canon ones because yeah, it's like an expensive camera, so why cheap out on the batteries, you know? That's my way of thinking. But even so, even saying that, I was buying a used very good condition one. It was just open box. It wasn't actually used, so that's why I went for it. But it was just the wrong kind, unfortunately. And yeah, now we have to figure out this gappage. So that is clearly half a plate, right? Okay. So, little half plate gap that we need to fill. No, as I suspected. And I've got a decent amount of room to play with, I think. But I really need to get back into grid. Really, really, really need to. So, just need to fix this gap and then we can try to work on that. So like that. And then we'll have another one next to it, I guess. Or no, sorry. I'm doing that so I can get to that height. Yeah. Right. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. So that's putting me out of grid, so I should go like this. Yeah. I could do like a jumper plate here and then add like a stud on top or like a tile. Nice bit of detail. or just keep it nice and flat like that. See what that looks like on camera. Yeah, maybe I swap that for a jumper. It's a good connection I have there, so it's not too difficult to do. Like this. I don't have to do it just yet, but at least now I have the option of adding a bit of detail if I want to. What am I doing? Oh, I missed this. That's why. Right. Okay. So, getting this a half plate higher. I'd want to leave the bracket here, like I said. And so I can use one of these ones instead. Let's see, can I see the battery on my camera? Not really. Oh yeah. Yeah, man, I know what you mean. You're not missing a whole lot on my end, I will say. But thanks for keeping me on in the background, man. I hope it's going well for you. You keep seeing grid. Okay, so, like, you see the base here? So, everything, like, this is, like, the grid that I'm working with, right? So, this is a 18 by 18 space. And, you know, just building up by bricks, just like that, I'm in grid. But as soon as you start introducing, like, let me grab a jumper. Like, if I grab a jumper here, and then put a brick like this, I'm now out of the grid, right? So if I try to put another brick next to it, it's not going to line up. And it makes things difficult, because you can't just connect things on top of each other, right? So because of all of these funky connections that I've made, setting up this cross section, a lot of those designs were made by building out of the grid. And I had to do that because I had a limited amount of space here to work with. So to get these to line up correctly, I had to build out of grid. So that's what I mean by that. And I'm trying my best to get back into the grid now. So I don't have to keep doing this. Like building on jumpers and adding brackets, half plate gaps, all that stuff. So that's kind of been the goal of this stream. I said to finish the terrain, but I can't really finish the terrain unless I solve this problem. So, but yeah, I hope you're having having a better time than I am with your build as far as progress is concerned. I'm kind of at a... Oh, okay. Gotta change my camera. But, yeah, feel free to let me know how that's going for you, Justin. But yeah, I'll probably build for like another hour or so, and okay, gotcha, that's cool. I will say jumpers really don't help, especially for something like this, with how intricate this build looks. Yeah, so yeah, that's really the point I was making, that it just introduces this new sort of paradigm, like rule set that you have to follow, like staying in that out of grid context is really tricky to follow through, right? But I got the other webcam now. Think you may redo some of it? Okay. I get that. I had a phase like that with this mock where I was redoing the rocks I made for this newest section that I'm working on, and I think it really paid off. So my advice would be to go with your gut, man. If you think you want to spend some more time redoing things. Oh, sorry if that was loud. I know my arm just hit my mic. I think spending more time to fix something instead of dreading about what it looks like later because you didn't fix it is definitely gonna give you some peace of mind, even if in the moment, it doesn't feel so great going backwards. 2 steps back to go 1 step forward kind of thing. There we go. That shot looks okay. You're gonna up the height on the land that the base is gonna sit on. I see. Yeah, I know you had... Let me look at your mock, actually. You sent it in whips recently, if I recall correctly. Yes. I see. So you had like a bunch of little half-plate gaps from the shoreline. So you're saying you're going to raise that section up, like the reddish-brown area? I would agree with that. I think I do that so often too. Nothing can satisfy. Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't think it's such a bad habit. I think it's just maybe it's that perfectionism that I was kind of saying you should try to get away from last stream, but you know what, man, do what you think is best, for sure. But yeah, I was saying you're gonna raise up the reddish brown terrain, I'm assuming, which I support. I think that's a good idea, if that's the plan. Raise up the land that the tent is gonna sit on. It's too low and looks really strange. Right. I see. Well, I like the little light you've added for the campfire. That's a nice addition. And playing around with those newer plant pieces, that's cool. I just got in a few of those myself, so I've been looking for a reason to use them. But haven't gotten around to it just yet. So look forward to seeing what you end up with as far as the terrain is concerned. But yeah, I'm hoping to sort this out. This is strange. What's going on here? There we go. Why is that moving back? Can you stay where you're supposed to be, dude? There. Not bad. Good enough. Yeah, just a Lego light. I thought about buying Light My Bricks, but this saves money and works for now. Yeah, so I actually did get some Light My Bricks in myself. I can show you what it looks like in the mock in the back, actually. But they are practical because they're really easy to, like, they are designed to work with like the Lego system, right? So that's what I like about it. See what I can do here. It's a pretty heckin' big mock. Oh. There it is. So yeah, the camera, it can't really pick it up that well, but let's see. If I bring it closer. Yeah, the camera does not want to focus. They just look like they're radiating so much more light than they actually are. Yeah, my other camera would be a lot better for this, but so another time, I suppose. But if you ever do consider picking them up, I think they are useful because they're very small and practical. like I said, work with the Lego system really well. But I suppose the Lego official ones work with the system best, right? So, can't really go wrong with those. But yeah, I'm gonna try to lock in here and get this sorted. But I'll probably be live for like just under another hour, probably. We'll see, depending on how long it takes me to do this, or if I just give up. For tonight, that is. Not an ad. Yeah, forgot to mention it. Thank you. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, like I said, I wish this webcam doesn't pick them up very well. And honestly, my other camera has kind of been the same. And I kind of worry that I won't end up using them for actual photos, though, I don't think. But for like World of Lights or whatever at the con, it'll be nice to have my mock not be completely dark. Just expensive. Yeah, so they had a sale around Christmas. That's when I picked them up. Hopefully they do another one soon because I need more, to be honest. So yeah, maybe that's what, yeah, that is the goal. Have them light up at the con. But yeah, maybe I am a mere mortal, so it's gonna take some time to get to that level. Okay. So, let's see. But yeah, trying to get them on sale would be my advice if you are interested. So I think that's the best I can do here. But I'm still out of grid, so that means I need to go up at least one more stud at that point. And I don't really want to bring this up any higher. So, and to even get this down, I need to go up by half a plate. So, go like this. Oh, like this. Okay, that would work. But I don't really like seeing that gap. Don't want to see that gap. Or, okay, that's not a thing. I can just put a brick under it. Easy peasy. Cake. Actually, I'm going to turn this, tip this down slightly. There we go. Much better shot. And then just a tile. 1x2 tile moment. Oh, we've gone through the whole playlist. And now we're playing music that isn't in my playlist. And I need to reset my capture. Mini player. There we go. Oh, what was I doing? Tile. Yes. Get me back into grid, please. No, get me at the level I'm looking for. We're not getting back into grid just yet. That would be way too easy. Where are my jumpers? Here they are. Oh, I lost my chat. Where's chat? There it is. Oh yeah, I saw you were saying, if you're still here, Justin, you were saying you used to do a bit of streaming yourself. Was that like on Instagram? Or where were you doing that? If you don't mind me asking. I know it must have been a while ago. Or at least sounded like you implied it was a while ago. I'm curious how that went for you. Used to do it on Insta and YouTube. Nice. I'm sure it's probably easier on... Well, I'm not sure how much of a following you have on YouTube, but I know you've been in the community a while and you post all your stuff on Instagram, so I'm assuming you had a decent turnout whenever you would go live on Instagram, right? Because, yeah, like the people who... Then they up to having 1,000 subs to live stream. Not sure if that's changed on YouTube. No, that is not the case. I would not be allowed to stream if that was. So, unless you're talking about Instagram, somewhat did, but I haven't really tried since. Yeah, it's just I'm really treating it more like a hobby. I'm sure you were too, but just wanted to say for the record. And yeah, it's been fun. I've had on YouTube, it used to be a thing, maybe they changed it. Yeah, no, I don't know. That's news to me. But it's been really great seeing you know, people come say what's up and just talking to people in the community. Really enjoyed it. And I had a ton of good feedback. Also, Campfire looks much better, simple but effective. The lighting that you added, I'm assuming. I'm not sure if you had the campfire in the first place. Or if that was a new addition when you started working on it again. I'm trying to scroll back to the last time you sent it before, but I can't find it. It must have been a while ago. But yeah, the lighting it is a nice touch. I think it does really add a lot. Not lighting, it was just a square bunch of... Oh, I see. Oh, the flames, so I'm assuming you're referring to. Check mission whips. Yeah, it's a single... The last campfire I've seen was Jacob Kaiser's from one of his live streams. So that might be some good inspo, but it looks like you've got a pretty good solution. Even if it is just a single flame. Something's better than nothing. Facts. Facts indeed. Factual. But man, back to streaming though. It is definitely a different experience building on on camera compared to off camera, because I feel like I notice I'm a lot more aware of like how much I'm getting done and how like the time going by, like the time invested for like a certain area of the build. Whereas like when I'm building off camera, it's like I don't even think about that, like how much time I'm investing. It's all kind of natural, right? Like when you get to flow state, like that's not a thing. But yeah, as soon as I turn the camera on, I feel like I'm just constantly aware of like how long I've been. Yeah, man, I would love to catch you on stream, and it is a lot of fun. Yeah, just interacting with the community. I mean, I don't really care about how many viewers I have, like as long as people are like chatting. Like that's what's good. That's what it's all about. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, you should definitely give it another try, man. I've been really having a good time doing it myself. I would be there. Don't know what's best, Insta or YouTube? I think Insta would be a bit more casual, easy to start out. I'm using Open Broadcast Studio on my computer. Yeah, man, for sure. I'd love to hang out and chat if you do go live, but I would advise you to look into OBS if you do choose YouTube. It's probably, I don't know if you've looked into it or not, but it's a good way to stream. And there's like a ton of helpful YouTube videos and other resources out there that can help get you started. But you said you have done it on YouTube. I'm just not sure how you went about that. But my method is using OBS Studio. So do with that what you will. But I'm almost back into Grid, man. Do you believe it? You ain't a tech guy? Yeah. I am somewhat of a tech guy. Like a boomer running up. That's funny. But yeah, it's really well documented. There's so many YouTube videos. So it's not intimidating in the slightest. There's so many useful guides out there if you want to consider it. So how were you streaming before to YouTube? I'm assuming I know on YouTube when you go to live, the kids call me Unk. I've become somewhat of an Unk myself. So even if you're joking, I know the feeling. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, I know when you go on YouTube, they have like a bit of a prompt to just like connect a webcam, and it's like very plug and play. But if you want to look into things a bit more, like customize your setup a little bit, OBS is the way to go, for sure. But yeah, we're almost back in Grid, man. I think. Maybe? I don't know. I hope. Like, no, I don't know what's happening. We're not in Grid. Wow, it ain't easy. Yeah, this is not going well, to say the least. But, you know what, it happens. I have a lot of fun streaming on Instagram. Yeah, it's pretty easy to go live on Instagram, I imagine. You just kind of hit go live. And that's it. The quest to get back into Grid. Build is very organic. Yes. It came at quite the cost, though, unfortunately. This is like unbelievable how long I've spent just on this section trying to get a flat surface. Like, that's literally all I've been trying to do. Just get a flat surface. I never thought it would be this difficult. But because of how much this technique has just shifted the build in ways that I can't even describe. it's been quite a challenge to do even just a flat surface. I'm going to take this out for now. But, see what I can do here. Because I think the easiest way to move forward is literally just stick this plate on top and deal with that later, remove this jumper kind of thing. So, I'm going to do that. That's what my gut's telling me. Go away. There. Give me a tile. It's a nightmare, but it's worth it. I hope so. I hope so, yeah. Like, I will not be the same after this mock. It's just like taking a piece of me. That's crazy. See? So this is what I'm talking about. If I put this 1x4 plate down, I have this gap here. So, because I was building out of grid. Yeah, I wanted to do something different than what I have on the other side. And when I initially worked on this side, it was too similar. Like I used, even though the techniques were different, I needed something to sort of pop. And this one quite literally pops out of the sand, and this one is nice and round, and it's got the little Technic pin, make it look like there's some sand on the rock. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that decision. So I appreciate that. Yeah, honestly, I didn't plan on it, but it was kind of a necessity to, like, that's just how it worked out with this boulder, and I needed to go up a few studs at least after that. Um, so, but yeah, if I just place this plate down, I need to fill in this gap, and I might consider going with like a rail plate, perhaps. Maybe that could work. Get me back into grid. Like, what does that look like if I do a 2x3? That could be the, yes, okay. I think I found the solution. I just need to go up by half a plate. Yeah. And that'll put me in grid. Which is amazing. But I don't think that's the end of the story either. Need one of my bigger brackets. So yeah, hopefully I can just finish this section off tonight. That would be really nice. If I could get myself back into grid. Call it a night. The rail plate doesn't work as well if it's on a bracket. And I need a bracket for... So, okay. It's not going to be that simple then. So I think my initial instinct to bring this up by half a plate was right. Maybe? You would try to make that a 1x2 tile and then use an inverted bracket and tile it off. Let's see. Which one is inverted? I actually don't know. I'm assuming it's this one. I don't know. But yeah, I see what you mean. It's just kind of tricky. Because I need to fill in, like, let's see. If I go 1x4 here, I've got to get this bracket, or this gap sorted. So the easiest way to do that is to just bring either one of these a half a plate up first. It's the one that's inward. I see. That's what I thought. So yeah, I think. How to approach this? Oh, all good, Carson. We're trying to sort things out here. I'm gonna declutter a little bit, but trying to flatten this surface out and get back into grid, but it's been pretty tricky. Because as you can see, filling this gap in. The easiest way to do it is to just raise one of these up by half a plate, but I think it's going to be tricky to keep this all aligned. So I need to go up like even higher, it looks like. But yeah, so I'm thinking like a rail plate eventually, and then that'll make things easier. I can just like connect it like this. But solving the gap beneath is the tricky part. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to fix that, really. Like, that gap is going to be... Yeah, I just need to raise one of these up by half a plate, it looks like. So... how do I want to do that? And it doesn't help that my lighting isn't that great right now. That's a little bit better, I think. Maybe that's best. What we had before. Hard to say. But yeah, tonight's stream has been the quest to flatten out the land and get back in grid. And it has not been easy. Is that where I want to be? Okay. Oh. Wait. Might have gotten a step closer with that. So I can just kind of... Okay. Bracket right there seems to be good. I'll probably want to have like a cheese slope there instead of this being a 1x2 tile. So let's do that. See where this takes us. Because I think I just had a lightning in bottle moment. Or my brain is back online. Let's see what we can do here. I think I have an idea. Or do I just go with 2 cheese slopes? Yeah, maybe. Let's see what that's like. 1x2, that is. Okay, so I don't love that, but the point of this is that I've got this bracket there, and I think I think the structure I want to build is going to be okay if I start it like here. So 2 plates or 3 plates away from this border. So I've got 18 studs long to work with. So that means I'm losing 2 to this side. And then I have, so 16 studs to work with, which is good. That's a nice even number if I start on this plate here, or eventually. Now, the issue is that I'm a half plate lower with this rail plate than I am with the plates behind it. Or a half plate higher, rather. So... Yeah, I realize this is not the best angle to be at for what I'm talking about. That's a bit better. But yeah, so I've got this bracket here. And this puts us back into grid. I just need to figure out this gap, and I want to do that with a rail plate. But this is now a half plate higher. There's this half plate offset, rather. And I can't just stick a bracket there, right? So I need to go up, but then my problem still remains. So I gotta get rid of this tile, have this bracket be there. But I want it to be like that. I want it to connect here. Snot brick, put the inverted bracket on the snot part and see if that works. So the issue with, I think I see what you're saying. I think I just have to raise everything up by a plate. I think that's, like, I don't think I have any other recourse. No matter which way you slice it, I think I just have to go slightly higher. But yeah, I'm not really a fan of what this is. I want a plate there, and then a cheese slope. Oh. Let's go like this. Like this. But yeah, I will need to incorporate a bracket at some point. Just not sure if that's this point necessarily. But like this is going to be the end goal. I'm going to have this rail plate that solves the grid issue. There's a better angle. Rail plate at the same level as this section here. That's what I need to have. I can't think of another way to fill in that gap other than the rail plate. Without having to go a lot higher in terms of elevation than I'm already at. Like, I don't want to go much higher than this. So the rail plate is nice because it's only one plate. So, yeah, I just need to bring this up a little bit higher, which is fine. I can totally make that work. So, what we're going to do is adjust this. Please go down. Now go with the cheese slope. And I'm gonna add a curve tile as well. Make that look a little bit more organic. And now I'm going to go up by a plate here, which doesn't, I'm going to have to adjust things. Like, this bracket can't be connected like that. I need it to be one plate lower. So we're going to add 1x2 to this. Oops. I can just stack two 2x2s, I guess. It's fine. So, or no. Because see, then just means I just have to solve this over here instead. Or does the bracket, should the bracket be on the other side? And this should be here instead. I don't know. Let me adjust the lighting, see if this is a bit better. I think that's the best, yeah. So just say for the sake of argument, I go with the rail plate there. And another one here. That's not in grid. So it would have to be farther back. We'd have to connect like here. So let's put a plate and just try that. Or yeah, no, I can't connect it to the rail plate. Right, so I need it to be on its own. No connection to the rail plate. So like this. And have it in line with the rail plate. Sorry, I need a regular snot brick, not a headlight brick. Oopsies. And go forward by a plate. It's like I'm almost there. It's like I'm almost back in grid and at a level surface, but not quite. Oh no, maybe I did need a headlight brick. I think I did. Yes, okay. But this bracket's not going to work here, I don't think. At least not well. Yeah. So that's pretty bad, but it gets the point across of what I'm trying to do. Kind of. Or do I even need the bracket here? At this height? No. That would be if I'm trying to get to that level, which I do need to be, so... Okay. So this is a bit more complicated, because I can't just connect it to this assembly that I have behind. So, don't think the rail plate's going to go here. And I think I need to remove this bracket and pivot to something else. Try to put it down here instead. Rail plate with the other, in the other direction or something. That might be best, actually. Like something like this. Have it just above. I don't know. Yeah, okay. That's the money right there. That's what I'm looking for. That is money. Okay. So I gotta bring this down a little bit, actually. Back to what we had before. Rail plates save lives, apparently. So what did I have? Like this? Alright, let's just put a 2x3 just to give us some more space to work with. Oh, okay. I don't know why I didn't expect that to happen. I don't really have anything to easily connect to. That's the problem, so... But rail plate will be there. Yeah, like I have nothing I can connect to here. This is gonna take a minute. But we have found a solution. Just gonna take some thinking to get it connected. Let's try that. Wow, man, after like 2.5 hours, I might have a flat surface and be in grid. Hallelujah. see what we can do here. Okay. Do I need to go down a plate? Yes, I do. Okay. Not a problem. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. That's actually a pretty nice transition, actually. That half plate difference into the rail plate. Sorry, you guys might not be able to see that. But I think that looks pretty good. I just need to... I don't know if a cheese slope looks great here. I don't really like that. Here. But I do like the tile going into the rail plate. I think that looks pretty interesting. Let's see if I can get a better shot of that. Focus? Can you not focus on all the parts that are... Thank you. Wow, this webcam really wants to show off all the parts in the background and not what's right in front of it. That is hilarious. Please focus. I can't even tell if it is. Yeah, there we go. So that's the solution. I'm not sure if I'm going to have this 1x2 cheese slope here, but see how it looks like from the intended angle. So that's like how it's going to be viewed. Kind of like that. And I think it's okay. I do kind of want a jumper here now though. So I might do that. And maybe I can just put like a plant there to make it less... stand out a bit less, or just like a little round tile. But I don't know. I think that looks okay. Yeah. Not too shabby. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and declutter some of my space a little bit. Put some of these away. Put this back here. Yeah, let's fill in this gap here, and then that'll probably do it for the night. Oh man, so glad that I finally figured that out. And have it look somewhat decent. I think... I'm not sure if swapping that out for a jumper is overkill, or if I will in fact enjoy a jumper there with like a little plate or plant or something. Looks pretty solid. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. In a perfect world, I would like to add like some medium and light nougat as well, kind of like I have around the other plants. just not sure if I'm gonna have that luxury. Like, kind of like how I have here and here. You swap. You could add a plant in that jumper. Yeah. Because I feel like it looks a little too plain here, all this tan. That was why I started adding the nougat and light nougat. Just to give it a bit of pop of color. And I think that has gone a long way. But yeah, definitely agree on the plant idea. So let's go ahead and add a jumper. But yeah, this rail plate to the tile connection I think is actually pretty nice. I like that. And we'll see if we can get some color in. So let's go ahead and take this down. Okay. I don't know if I have like a nougat. No, that would be too much. I can't add like a whole. That doesn't have to be a 2x2 tile, but I'm not sure. Let me think. So, okay, let's just start off with a 2x2 jumper. Yeah, the rail plates, they're great for when you've got half plate gaps, and I'm not even sure if it's half a plate or whatever, if you have just gaps in general, I guess. They've got some good utility. Yes. What am I doing? Is this where that was? Yeah, right. Like that. Okay, so we have our jumper there. The question is, how do I get the color in there? Let me turn down this light a little bit. It's kind of washing out the colors. Yeah, this camera doesn't do too well with light, but that's a little better, I think. You guys can let me know. Yeah, there's only so much I can do, but... So, trying to get color in here is going to be tricky, but I will do my best. So let's just put this rail plate back down, and then we can consider a couple different options. Just making sure everything is nice and snug and connected well. Oh, that plate just shot out. Yeah, this is like tilted. There we go. Okay. So let's get our plants out. Got a few different ones we can choose. Like, I do have some more of these dark brown stems. I'm just not sure if it makes sense to go there, but just for the sake of argument, we can throw one down. I would like to have some more brown in that area if I did do that. And my intention is, like, I like the dark brown next to the palm tree because it's like, it's kind of in the shade, right? Like, it would make sense to have like a darker tone there, whereas these ones are like dried out from the sun kind of thing. So I don't think it makes a ton of sense here, but you have to remember that we're going to have a big structure here. This is going to be the side of a like our structure, whatever. But even then, if I'm saying the sun is hitting this side of the mock, it wouldn't make sense to have the dark brown here. So I'm going to say no. And I mean, is there ever an angle where I have like a pot here at the side of our structure? I don't think that makes a ton of sense. And I don't even get to see my nice rail plate technique that I just did. So I don't think that's the move either. But I can try to think about how I can get some more color in here. Maybe where the cheese slope is. Maybe not have my light completely wash out the colors so you can actually see what I'm building. Yeah, that looks a bit better. It's like a hot spot right where that spot is that I'm talking about. All right, that's okay. Let's try dark orange. So that's not the worst, but see, it's like I'm not even. I really like that rail plate connection. I feel like you don't really see it like this. So it might just be better to try to work in some like dirt patches, some medium nougat, and light nougat, and then go from there. But I guess you might not even really see the rail plate in the end. And I think it's also just a product of this angle that I have my camera at, so I'm gonna raise this up a bit. Ugh. Pardon me, stream. Chatters. You are crooked. That's a little better. I doubt I'm gonna be shooting at this height, but maybe I will be. Actually, yeah, that's a decent height. Probably go a bit lower. Like this. But yeah, I definitely do want to get some color in here. Let's do a quick uptime check. But this might do it. I'll probably spend another 5 minutes or so tinkering with this and see what we think. But there definitely is some potential to work in some color here where this 2x3 is. Definitely don't need that to be a whole 2x3. And the rail plate would stick out a lot more if we had some color here. So let's try that instead of worrying about the jumper. So our nougat and our light nougat. I shouldn't bring the camera back down. Whoa. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why the light's just hitting it kind of strange here. But it is what it is. So, where should I start with the light nougat? I haven't actually even had an instance of it being a full tile or plate just yet on the mock. And obviously just going with more tan doesn't really, it's not really the move here. Maybe I could do some kind of snot work. Yeah, okay. Let's try to work with a bracket. Do I have any regular nougat brackets? just the inverted ones, I would say. Oh, that's tough. No snot bricks either, so that limits things. So we have, I don't really think this works, but yeah. This is tough. Yeah, I don't really have much to work with. Got these L plates in nougat. Medium nougat. So I could go like that. And be like, well. Yeah, it doesn't really work that well. You can even tell because of how washed out the colors are right now. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna tinker with this a bit more, but might just call it a night here. Not much more progress is being made, and I'm glad I sort of figured this out, what I'm gonna do here. It's just about fine-tuning it now. And yeah, pretty productive at the end of the day. Not like a ton got done, but we solved a problem that needed to be solved, and that's what's important, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and put the tan back there for now. Swap out the medium nougat. And yeah, man, thank you. I didn't totally solve this problem, but didn't totally solve this problem. I don't know if I said that correctly, but this is something that I can work with, so I think it's a win. Yeah. And yeah, it might be subject to change, but honestly, I'm happy with what we accomplished. Yeah, like I could easily fill in this gap, but I'm getting tired. And we've been up for about 3 hours now. So, another 3 hour stream. And slow progress, but we're getting somewhere. So, hopefully we'll be back again tomorrow. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it will. Depends on. I'm gonna try to fully have a finished solution off camera of this sort of off-grid issue, out of grid that I kept saying. Something that I'm happy with. Because I think this could work, but I'd like to test some alternatives as well. So yeah, I'll hopefully be live again tomorrow, but I will let you guys know. But thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. It's been real. Anyways, gonna head out for the night. And yeah, I hope you guys are also making progress on your builds. So yeah. Take care, everybody. Have a good night.